Tucker Carlson was one of the speakers at Turning Point USA's AmericaFest over the weekend, and there's some snippets from his speech that I think are worth sharing with you guys, including this Swanson heir essentially posing a question to this audience that they never really have to ponder. Let's watch.
I was staring out the window like a dog of the plane and like watching my country go, beneath me, 40,000 feet below. And I'm like, this is an amazingly beautiful country. What sane person would choose to live, and let's do top end, $30 million, 16th floor apartment in a crowded city over a log cabin in a pine forest with the wood stove glowing as the snow falls?
Not gonna lie, the cabin in the woods where I don't have to run into anyone sounds pretty awesome, okay? But the idea that anyone in that audience would consider, like, I don't know, maybe I want to sell my $30 million condo in the Upper East Side so I can go live in a cabin. First of all, he hasn't done that. And I think that question itself gives you a sense of how much of a faux populist this guy really is. So for instance, Tucker did move recently. He sold his Washington, D.C. home for $3.95 million in July of 2020 to purchase, a $2.9 million property in Boca Grande, a small community in Southwest Florida. So,
I do declare.
I do declare. By the way, is that Middle America? That multi-million-dollar home in this like fancy Floridian island, is that?
That doesn't look like Middle America. I'm pretty sure Florida's not in the middle, but if you were going to be in Florida, you know what they say, above Miami, well, really Fort Lauderdale is Alabama, okay? Okay, so you can be part of Florida and still feel like you're middle of the country. Southwestern Florida by the coast in a mansion is not middle of the country. Okay.
He's a man of the people, Cenk. Come on, don't be unfair to him.
Look, he makes a lot of money on Fox News. He already had a lot of family money because of the Swanson fortune. He can live wherever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
And we're not in the business of, don't go in that house or that house is too expensive. But if you're trying to relate to these kids and you're going to talk to college age students, right? And some even younger, and you're telling them, hey, you know what? You shouldn't choose to live in your $30 million home. You should choose to live in another multi-million-dollar home. Is that really useful advice? Is that practical advice in their real lives? I don't know, maybe all the left, all the young that are still Republican, which is a tiny, tiny number, right? Mm-hmm. They might all be rich. So maybe they're like, I do that. Papa is wrong about the penthouse. We should go to a cabin in the woods or a mansion in the woods. It's possible.
Let me also just address this one other thing that's actually been kind of irritating for me personally. No, I would love to live in a secluded location. Like, I want nothing more, but I don't have that option. Like most Americans who have to live where they live because that's where their jobs are. Not everyone has the luxury of doing what Tucker Carlson does, right? He built this fancy studio for himself where he can do his Fox News show in the comfort of his own home. Most people don't have that luxury, so they have to live where the jobs are, regardless of whether they like that area or hate that area. It's just a fact of life. But all these people, it's not just Tucker Carlson, it's everyone. It's Dave Rubin, it's Joe Rogan, it's Ben Shapiro. All these people are like, yeah, I didn't like California, so I'm gonna get up and leave. Okay, great for you, but do you understand that most people don't have that option? Whether they're pro-California, anti-California, that doesn't even matter. They don't have that luxury.
It informs every part of what they say. When Ben Shapiro was debating Anna, I broke down for you guys, every one of his answers assumed you were already really wealthy and you were trying to decide, should I start a business or should I keep making millions of dollars in salary? Well, the government is giving you the wrong incentives. I'm like, what hypothetical is this?
It's just a disconnect. It's a disconnect from the realities that most people are facing. So like, look, I think middle America has so many beautiful parts to it. There's no question about that. Middle America also lacks jobs, okay? Deindustrialization, lack of jobs. That's why you have so many people living on the coasts, right? That's why you have so many people densely populated in urban areas, on the coast. That's where the jobs are. But they don't address that, which I find fascinating.
Well, Anna, why would you need a job if you're going to move into a $3 million mansion, And so look, and there was one maybe subliminal shot there that he might have intended, because he traded in his $4 million home in Washington for a $3 million one in Florida. He also has one in Maine, but he's got tons. Right. He does, right? Yep. He has tons and tons of money. And again, I don't begrudge that, and I don't care, right? It's just not relatable, and he doesn't realize they're such elitists. They don't realize they're elitist, while ironically pretending to be against elitists in their fall populism.
Yeah.
But he didn't have a $30 million penthouse in New York. You know who does? Donald Trump. He keeps taking side shots at Trump.
They're very
over
subtle.
And over again. Yes. Subtle, because if he goes after him in a full frontal attack, Trump's going to attack back, and it's going to split his audience. But he keeps chipping away at him, right?
Yeah.
He's not the real leader. I'm the real leader. Because as Trump said in his convention speech in 2016, I alone can protect you. That is the authoritarian code. So now Tucker is saying, not Trump, I alone can protect you from my multiple mansions throughout the country.
Exactly. But look, don't worry, okay? Because he makes up for his elitism by giving the audience some advice on how to relax. Let's watch.
Fight back a little bit by trying to turn down the noise just for like a half hour a day. Start there. It's almost like a religious exercise. I take a sauna every day and sit alone in the hot wood room and just try and listen. Mostly I hear nothing other than the buzz of the sauna heater.
Oh, you take a sauna every day. Oh, you take a sauna every day. Okay, so
the sauna's in your house. I do.
He's not going to like 24-hour fitness and then getting in the sauna with a bunch of like naked dudes after like 30 minutes on the treadmill. He's got his own sauna.
It's in his mansion.
In his mansion, okay? Man of the people, Tucker Carlson, talking about taking a sauna. And how much do saunas cost? Let's take a quick look. So a little breakdown here. You guys could look at the details if you want. This is graphic 2. But if you want a sauna with the bells and whistles, and I would venture to say that someone like Tucker Carlson certainly would want the bells and whistles, you're looking at around $7,000 to take a sauna.
And of course, you have to have a house big enough to put a sauna in it, and then the cost of installing it, etc. Okay, so guys, I'm going to say it for the 8th time. He's wealthy. He's always been wealthy. It's okay. You have a sauna. Enjoy it. I don't mind that you enjoy it.
Just don't pretend to be someone who really connects with the ordinary working American.
But I'll go further in that. Look, FDR was incredibly wealthy and was an actual populist and actually stuck up for the average American. But Tucker, you have to do the other part where you actually stick up for the average American. And just saying, oh, poor white people, we're not producing enough babies, isn't doing that. Higher wages. How do you argue for higher wages? I've never seen you argue for higher wages your entire career, not once, okay?
Right.
For people who have health care so their kids don't die, they don't die, especially if they're middle class. Poor folks get Medicare, etc. The middle class gets screwed the most. Did you ever argue for them? No, all you ever do is culture wars to distract people while your robber baron friends rob them blind.
Maybe we're being unfair because he has talked about issues that do impact working Americans. So I want to go to the final video here, J4, to kind of look at the body of work that Tucker Carlson has put out there in regard to the ordinary American worker.
Joe Biden is pushing to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. That may help some of the people who get raised wages. It will definitely hurt others. According to the Congressional Budget Office, a $15 minimum wage would eliminate almost 1.5 million jobs and increase the federal deficit dramatically. Thanks to Joe Biden's $2 trillion coronavirus relief bill, everything, by the way, done under the justification of the pandemic, some people in this country are getting checks for up to $700 a month not to work. There's not, to restate, an actual shortage of American workers, citizens who could fill jobs. They're just telling you that so they can justify opening the borders and changing the electorate so they never lose another election and no one ever takes their power away. But that's not true. What is true, once again, is that the government is paying people more not to work than to work. And so why would they work? Would you?
Just take a sauna.
Yeah. Look, I do want to break that down a little bit. So there you saw him arguing against a higher minimum wage. By the way, higher minimum wage pushes everybody's salaries up. And he says, oh, well, it costs jobs. That's not true. Every study has shown whenever the $15 minimum wage has been put into effect in America, it didn't cost any jobs. You know why? Because wages are so artificially depressed that there's still so much room in the market to go higher. Now, Tucker knows that, but he doesn't want your wages to be higher. He doesn't want you to get a $700 check. He doesn't want you to get a goddamn thing. But when they're giving away trillions of dollars to his corporate buddies, he loved it. Loved it. Well, he pretends to be against corporations, but only if they're saying that they're in favor of rights for LGBT folks, or if they are against racism, then all of a sudden he hates corporations. But when they're crushing you and taking away your wages, he says, oh, the government is paying you to not work. What you got was a pittance out of the government. The real problem was your wages are so low at work that didn't seem so bad in comparison. Now, the real answer is for people, actual Americans, to get paid more, which they earn through their productivity. They're not bums, Tucker. They work really, really hard. And if wages had gone up with productivity of the American worker in this country, right now the minimum wage would be $24 an hour. You see Tucker arguing for that? No, he argues against it because he actually loves corporate rule. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.